Skywalker must not become a Jedi.
If he could be turned, he would become a powerful ally. He will join us or die.
From the world-famous Blackbird Studios, it's the Rave X podcast. And now, Rave X.
All right, kids, so what we did here is that we jumped ahead a little bit. Now we have the great Luke Skywalker on the Mountaintop, and he agreed to train one Daisy Ridley. I really like her in this movie now that we get to see her again. You know, she's the daughter of no one. Junk traders from Jakku who sold her. Do you know why they sold her, Doug?
I forgot. I only saw this movie once.
Drinking money. Yeah, anyway, Daisy Ridley.
You could agree with that person.
Yeah, thank you. Daisy Ridley, who I love. Luke tells her to reach out, and she reaches out her hand, and Luke just looks so irritated. So he tickles her finger, and this is the part that I think is chemistry between them two. Like, we've watching it with the volume down. I just feel like this part was just such... You can tell that Daisy Ridley and Mark Hamill rehearsed this. They talked about it. They got along. There was a lot of mutual fun. Mark Hamill just seems to be having so much fun as crotchety old Luke, and that was so good to see. So he puts her hand on the ground and tells her to reach out. Apparently, where Luke Skywalker decided to go, what's this place called? He went to this place for a reason. Apparently, this whole island is like Force something or other. Like there's something in this place where Luke decided to go, but it seems to be...
It's the tree is the first Jedi temple. That's why he went there.
Holy shit. So the tree where Mark Hamill lives, Luke Skywalker lives, was the first ever...
Jedi temple.
Really?
Yeah, that's why the books are there.
Were the books there before?
Because it's a Jedi temple. He went there too.
It's like, why don't you just make 10 louder? Because this one goes to 11. Yeah, I get it, Doug.
So they put the first Jedi books in the first Jedi temple.
Okay, thank you. And the caretakers take care of it.
Yes.
So Luke is telling Daisy Ridley to reach out. And I know I go between their names and their character names. You know, he's telling her to reach out, and you see that she can tap into everything. Now, Luke gets pissed. He gets wicked pissed because she starts to tap into some dark force type shit. And what happens that Luke says that pisses him off is, you didn't even try to...
Fight it.
To fight it. Doug, what's that about? You think she was tempted to the dark side, or you think that it was new to her, she didn't know what she was doing, you know, or like Mark Hamill just knows? Do you think that he's got Jedi PTSD now?
That's the idea.
Yeah, okay.
That's the idea.
Kids, I think we just tapped into it. Luke Skywalker has Jedi PTSD, and I'm not trying to make light of that. That's some serious shit for y'all soldiers out there. He has dealt with so much bad stuff involving Jedi shit. His dad, this, that, the whole thing.
I think he doesn't believe that you can be a Jedi without being tempted. If you reach out in the Force, you will always want to go. You're always going to be pulled to the dark side. That's the issue. Because like when he lights his lightsaber, whether he wants to believe it or not, that's him. You know, even though in Return of the Jedi he sort of like solved that problem.
Again, no plan.
Yeah, he lights that lightsaber. That's him fighting the dark side, dealing with the dark side. That's why he cuts himself off from the Force, which is okay.
He does. He cuts himself off from the Force.
But you could find another reason to get to that point. That's the issue. Like, all these places where people are, you can find a place, you can find, like, a way to get there where it would make more sense story-wise.
Yeah, I just recently got into the Clone Wars. I like it. I'm mad at myself that I like it. I feel like I shouldn't like the Clone Wars. You know what I mean?
But it's good. It's good episodes and bad episodes. It's like everything. Yeah.
All right. So now we have the infamous Force Skype. Rian Johnson did a real interesting thing. You never see them together as far as camera goes, and I thought that was, really interesting. Like, you just see Kylo Ren and you see Daisy Ridley. You never see almost what the other one's seeing, or are we seeing, like, what are we, is this what he's seeing right now?
Well, no, I think they're not talking to each other. He doesn't know where Luke is. So there's something blocking that, but, so it would be like a telephone call. This is like very Dr. Hill.
Yeah. Okay, kids, we're going to take a quick break. It's going to be instant to you, but we're going to jump ahead in this movie because it's a 2-hour long movie. We're already around the 47-minute mark, so we're going to pause it right at the part where they get to, what's the name of this place? Canto Bight? The whole thing was stupid. All right, kids, we'll be right back. Daisy Ridley's character and Kylo Ren's character are about to touch hands, dude, and it's intense. He looks like he's intense. She looks scared, like it's her first time. They do touch, and to me, guys, I'm not trying to be gross here. It's almost like two teenagers in the back of a Chevy being awkward and losing.
Crying.
She's even crying, like a lose your virginity metaphor, I guess. I don't want to be gross. And then the dad comes in, and now it's the only time you see them both.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, both in that scene. And Luke goes nuts. He thinks Kylo... He has no faith that there's any light in Kylo.
Which is the problem.
Okay,
That is the problem with Luke. Because Luke repeatedly tried to save Space Hitler, Darth Vader.
Space Hitler, yeah.
It's like...
Go back in time and kill Space Hitler.
Yeah, you can't get around that. Like, that's the thing. Like, how does he get to that point with I'm being distracted by the scene because I do want to say something about the scene.
So guys, we're watching Daisy Ridley and Mark Hamill fight each other. Really amazing that, of course, Mark Hamill wins. She grabs... Okay, watch this, Doug. What we see in Mark Hamill right here, and Luke Skywalker, watch that. We see fear. He's a little scared right now.
Well, because the light, he can't block what he has with the lights. Like, that makes sense. A lot of people say, well, Rey beat him. She grabbed a lightsaber. Lightsaber versus a metal rod. No matter what. That's not going to...
Okay, and now we get the third and final pass at what happened that night between Luke. He's sensing him. He's scanning his mind. He's still asleep. Kylo Ren is still asleep, even though we said we weren't going to talk about this again. Kylo Ren is still asleep. He stops. In this one, he stops. And now he reaches for his lightsaber. He's looking at it. Was he going to kill his nephew? Let's see what happens next. I can't remember. He looks like he wants to. Oh, he ignites it. And that's his reality.
Yeah.
Now he realizes, what the fuck did I do? And he has a line where he says, when I realized what had happened, blah, 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 all I saw were the eyes of a scared little boy. That shit's fucked up. And he's like, what am I doing? Now, Kylo, survival of the fittest. So Luke almost, when Kylo says it, it's that Luke swung at him. When we see Luke's version, he was blocking Kylo, if you notice.
Yeah.
Kylo swung around. So what are we trying to say, kids? Who the fuck knows what happens? And the scene, they're talking, she's trying to convince him.
I don't think it's fair to say that Kylo was lying. I think that's how Kylo really saw it going down.
I agree with that 100%. You know, it's like when you're friends with someone and you have a little friendship falling out and you go, well, I saw it like that motherfucker was like, fuck you, motherfucker. And they're going, nah, I was trying to tell you. And then eventually, you know, you can come to the middle. All right, we're going to skip ahead again. Okay, so we are now at the Yoda scene where Luke is looking at the first Jedi temple. Yoda has bursted into flames and he thinks it's funny. Doug, what do you think about this scene?
This scene's interesting for a couple of different ways. Number one, it's the first time that a Force ghost has actually interacted with reality.
Yeah.
So that makes any Jedi even less dead. Once they get to this point, if they're actually able to...
do stuff.
Yeah, or
like
touch
hit Luke
people.
on the head. It's almost like if you're a Jedi, it might be better to be dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you can't get struck down because you're already gone.
Yeah.
But you can burst shit into flames. This was such... I love this scene, man. This is our childhood right here.
Yeah.
But they have aged with us. We're seeing Yoda and we're seeing Mark Hamill, who plays a great wounded puppy, kind of a sad puppy here. The funniest line in this is when Yoda says, there's nothing she does not already possess, meaning she's got the books, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. And I love when Luke says, but the sacred Jedi text, and Yoda says, read them you have, and Luke goes, well. So even Luke didn't read the fucking the old school text, and that's kind of part of what the movie is. You don't need that old school shit. We've got some.
No, I think he's saying that he's been talking about destroying them. But he's like, oh, wait, we're actually going to lose it. It's one thing to say it's got to end. But then the knowledge is still there. But once it goes up, then it's gone.
Yeah, you know what it reminds me of?
It's like Alexandria. Once the library got burned,
it's gone.
We lost all of our knowledge. And we had to start basically from
scratch again with some of it on stories. Like, what do you remember about that Jedi text? Yeah, it's kind of funny because he's talking about ending the Jedi and destroying the books, and then when Yoda does it, he's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
He's talking about destroying the text he doesn't need. I'm going to destroy the text. It happens. He's a little, distraught by it, which means there's still a bit of hope for the old school in there. All right, kids, so we jumped right ahead here to the throne room scene where what'd you call him, Snork?
Yeah, the Snorks from Hades.
Supreme Emperor Snork is face to face with Daisy Ridley. I don't know, man. He's just like a creepy old guy. He's just telling her like she's got no, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no hope.
Yeah.
And this is a great scene because Kylo Ren, it's right before he turns against Snoke. Doug, what's your take on this whole scene with Snoke? What is he even telling her?
Obviously, he's just like being crazy bad guy.
He's being creepy, right?
Yeah. I mean, but he's also trying to feel out, is she more worthy being an apprentice than Kylo Ren?
Yeah, and he
They're
does
always looking for the
another
next more powerful person.
And then he just kind of shows off his force powers.
Yeah.
He like levitates her. He like there's this scene where look like this scene right here where Daisy Ridley is just like in intense pain. That's why I couldn't be an actor, because for me that scene where she's in like that intense mental and physical pain, they'd be like, all right, action. I'd be like, it hurts. Like, but it really looks like Daisy Ridley was like really like fucking her, So you just have fucking I promise not to swear. General Snook just messing with Daisy Ridley, whatever.
Yeah. Trying to figure out which two of these is going to be the next apprentice.
Yeah, because he'll take, if she's better than Kylo, he'll take her. But she's we fast forward a little bit. He's still just sitting there in his gold robe, this whole thing. Now she reaches for the lightsaber. She grabs Kylo's lightsaber, which was interesting. She's got the red lightsaber, which is kind of like maybe she could be dark side because we've got
she's
her.
also wearing black too.
Yeah, we've got her with the red lightsaber, and she's angry. She charges at Snoke, and he's just not even having it. It's done.
Now, what is Kylo going to do? The lightsaber's right in front of him.
I love Adam Driver in this whole scene. He doesn't say much. He watches her get kind of, she's resisting, but it's painful. Now, I believe he says something like, "Don't you know that I can read his mind? I know what he's doing. I see him pick up the lightsaber." Something like that, right? Like, he's reaching out, and he's going to strike down his enemy.
So he's going to see, is Kylo strong enough to kill her? That's the whole point.
Like, prove it, Kylo.
Then he's definitely dark side.
Part of him not killing
that's
her.
the whole thing with Anakin and Padme, though.
That's true.
That's true there, too. I mean, it is like, they're related.
Now, at the same time, Kylo Ren's got to be shielding his thoughts from Snoke.
Yeah, I think that's pretty apparent.
That's pretty apparent. Now, I'm saying that because it's got to take a lot of Jedi power for him to shield his thoughts while planning on killing him.
Yes.
I don't think everyone can do that. Like, if I was a Jedi, they'd be like...
Well, he's a Skywalker, so he's like one of the most powerful Jedis of all time.
Exactly. Now, he cuts Snoke in half, kids. We see this in the throne room. Daisy Ridley is shocked. We don't know where we stand right now. We're like, where do we stand right now? And he's just like, boom, I got my lightsaber ignited. You get your lightsaber back to back like some Wolverine Colossus shit, X-Men style, and now they go at it. Not a bad scene, Doug. Do you like this scene?
This is probably my favorite stuff in the whole movie. The guards, I mean, they look cool.
The Praetorian Guards, going back to the Emperor's Royal Guards.
We finally get to see them kick some ass.
Again,
this
Kylo
was the time
Ren.
where the movie should have ended, like right after they kill everybody.
Now, look, guys, who doesn't love lightsaber stuff? And we've got the Praetorian Guards with the lightsaber chain, lightsaber size. They're about to get Daisy. Really, she whips around, cuts right through him. Again, his head goes flying. Here comes another one. It does kind of look soundstagey to me, though.
That
you know
is,
what I mean? Like, that's all.
I was just about to say that.
This is like Studio 8H in whatever. Yeah. So now you get the guy with the two sides. We cut back to Kylo. He's fighting two dudes. Yeah. Again, Adam Driver. I didn't know him. Right through one guy's chest. Love that lightsaber. Unstable kyber crystal, Doug.
Yeah, I know.
That's why. Okay, he's ready.
I don't have a problem with little things off the side either.
Yeah, he's ready. They got like 4 more dudes to go. She gets stabbed. Kylo is... okay, now we got 4 lightsaber nunchucks. We get Kylo in action.
Now, are these people or robots? That's what I always wonder.
I think they're people. I think they're people.
Cyborgs, maybe a little bit of both.
Yeah, I think that they're people because they have to be. Well, you could have a robot Praetorian Guard for whatever.
I mean, Star Wars, they do whatever they want.
You can do whatever they want. I don't know. I'd have to Google. I'm sure there's a book somewhere. Just the way they move, I think they're people. They don't move like robots. Like, why would a robot be slightly off balance? He drops his lightsaber. Okay, got a little around the neck with the thing. Classic move. This next scene was really good. Really like this. Okay, watch this. His sword disappears or something. Yeah, it's before. He could have stabbed her in the back, but all of a sudden he has no sword in his left hand.
Yeah.
When before he had 2. Just a little thing with the choreography there, man. They always fix that stuff in post. She throws a lightsaber at Kylo. Very cool. He just hits the button right through the guy's head. The throne room scene, The Last Jedi, probably where the movie should have ended.
Right here, when he says we should end it, come with me, extend the hand. That's it. Because you already had your big change, like you killed the bad guy. That's like a huge. That's a I'm your father type moment.
This was also a moment to me of when Anakin says to Padme, we can rule the galaxy together, me and you. And Padme says this thing, the great Natalie Portman, who I've seen a few times in Harvard Square. She went to Harvard in our hometown here. And she has this line that almost makes you want to cry. She says, Annie, you're breaking my heart. Remember that? Like, that was like, oh, come on. Dude. Like, I know it's a stupid Star Wars movie, but just that scene where Anakin's all amped up on crack cocaine and dark side powers, and he wants to take her with him, and she's like, yo, I can't believe this dude became, like, dark side dude. This scene reminded me of that in a sense. Like, he's the Anakin, obviously.
No, I thought I'd look at it a different way. This was his... Kylo's not wrong. It's about breaking the cycle. He wants to break the cycle. Now, is she willing to go with him? She wants to keep the old, like... Snoke is gone. The First Order can be good or bad. It doesn't make a difference. It's just a government agency. Like, the guy mopping the floors on that Star Destroyer is not a bad guy.
Yeah.
He's just a guy mopping the floors.
Can I just say this? I always feel that way about movies from the 80s. Yeah, he puts his hand out and she's crying. Almost.
Boom, fade to black. Done.
Okay, I would have just... and then the thing...
And then the next movie, you get your resolution.
I like that. Obviously, that's a great idea. But I think that if you watch this scene in the Episode 3 scene with Anakin and Padme, with volume down, it's kind of the same scene to me, because we're watching with the volume off now. All right.
Well, I mean, if you take out everything that they're saying, then yes, it's the same scene. But,
yeah.
The dialogue's important. He's saying, let's break this. So once you break it, now he's not just talking. He's not talking about the general, like the Sith and just that.
That's true. He's
talking about the Empire, rebellion, everything. Just break everything. We can run everything and not make it necessarily evil. Just make it better. Because the problem is that you're going in this cycle, and you're gonna have, once the First Order is gone. And you're going to have the Second Order, then the Third Order, then the Fifth Order.
Then the New World Order.
Yeah. Hogan, Holland Nash.
You might throw X-Pac. It doesn't even work. Yeah. He's still trying to... This was a longer scene than I thought. She takes her lightsaber away out of Kylo Ren's hands. Now they're fighting for the lightsaber. Who's more powerful? Well, they're both powerful. Okay, now it cuts to another scene. They just shatter it, and the kyber crystals go everywhere. To me, that was the ultimate... killing of the past. They literally broke Anakin and Luke Skywalker, although they say he has his green one still. All right. We are going to skip along to the end, guys. We are running long and strong. We're going to go to the end, the scene on Crate. All right, guys, so we cut to the end of the movie. This is going to have to be a 4-parter, so if you're listening to part 1, 2, there's more parts to come. Now we're on Crate, which was kind of a funny thing there. One of the things I thought was great that Rian Johnson did, like we said, not every movie is a complete, No,
I mean, this isn't bad and, like, everything's bad.
It just didn't live up to expectations, I think it's fair to say.
He made bad decisions. The problem, I think, is...
Like a drunken college girl, Rian Johnson made bad decisions, man.
They should have had an idea of what they're doing with the trilogy before they made the movies.
That's right.
That's the issue. There's no plan to the trilogy, so nobody here has a plan.
Let me just jump in right there, because it's something I want to say like 20 minutes ago and I forgot. I couldn't believe it when everyone confirmed, J.J. Abrams just did some stuff, and then Rian Johnson was working on the screenplay before he even saw the last movie.
Yeah.
He was already working on stuff before he saw what was coming out. So, guys, I don't know if you guys know this. I'd like to give you a little bit of trivia in the Rave X podcast.
To go back to this Rhodes Tico thing, like, they really did her know. They just had her walk in. It looks like she's wearing something from JCPenney. Like, they really need to step up, like, the costumes for her character.
All right, so they're on Crate, and this is essentially the last stand of the Resistance. All of the Resistance members are on Crate. Guys, we skipped ahead.
I will say, because no one had a plan. We're down to about... we went from, like, 400 people? Now
we got 100 people.
Yeah.
I think we got 100 people there.
So this is the issue, is that if anyone talked to each other and then decided to make a plan, things would have been better.
Okay, so now there's a great scene with the rebellion in a trench, and of course George Lucas took a lot from World War II. This guy
is
here,
World War I, by the way.
Okay, World War I.
Yeah.
This guy here, I believe, is Gareth Edwards. I think he was also he was the guy who directed
Rogue One.
Rogue One. Thank you, Doug. 'Cause I was not going to remember. I was going to say
And Godzilla.
Yeah. And they gave him a little cameo. Apparently, there are a lot of cameos in this movie that we didn't catch, like the way Daniel Craig was a stormtrooper in the last one and stuff
I feel like
that.
if you're going to do that, why even show up?
Yeah, you could tell me that, see that CGI'd monster? Yeah, that was Mike Tyson. How do I know?
Yeah.
Like, how do I know that was Daniel Craig? Yeah, you see the guy driving X-Wing number 4, the blue one? Yeah, I see it. Barack Obama.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. I mean, they CGI'd his hands. All right, so we're on Crate, the last stand. As Doug has pointed out 5 or 6 times, no one has a plan. And kids, look, I've read The Art of War. This is the opposite of The Art of War. This is no planning. This is no strategy. This is people who can't get along with each other. This is the wise old samurai who doesn't want to draw his sword again. This whole thing is, when you look at the big picture, it's just a letdown. Okay, so they're charging. Now let me say this. Good move from Rian Johnson. I love the planet's covered in salt, but underneath the planet is red.
Yeah, I mean, visually, it looks good.
It looks amazing because what he did was, you see the planet change as it gets more battle messed up. It's like they say that show Sex in the City, they would say, oh, the city's a character too. Crate, the planet of Crate is a character. And anytime you see anything going down, the way they move, like we're watching these ships blow up and zigzag, you're getting these weird red lines, right?
Yeah.
Like I thought that was super cool. One of my favorite action figures as a kid was the black TIE fighter dude. I just thought he was like the evilest dude.
Yeah.
All right.
He was cool.
He was cool. We got the guy who was in the prequels, but I think he drove shit with his feet. I think that's who that...
Well, I mean, I don't think that was the same guy.
No, not the same guy, but that species
Yeah.
of creature. I remember he was driving the pod races. All right. So, I don't know why their ships are so messed up, but like...
Because they're on the planet. They're already there. They're in the place.
Okay, so their ships are kind of rinky-dink.
They don't have any X-Wings.
Good point. This is Sans X-Wing. Although I think I just saw Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, because she got off the plane.
That's right. So then we get the Millennium Falcon zooming in the save today. Very reminiscent of when we give up on Han Solo.
Yeah.
And then Han Solo flies in and goes, all right, kids, that's whatever. Finish her off. And then you get the Wilhelm yell. So somehow Daisy Ridley just inherits a Millennium Falcon. Now, I didn't see Solo. Did you see Solo?
No.
Yeah, I didn't.
This did it for me for Star Wars, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll probably see the next one just because, but, I mean, I don't have the same love I have for it anymore.
Yeah, and Doug, you told me once that at some point these things become not for us.
Yeah.
And that is such... Kids, remember this. If the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie comes out and you hate it and you don't know why...
Everyone's complaining about the new cartoon.
Yeah, you don't know
In
why.
7 years they'll make a new one, don't worry.
That's because you were 12 when you got into that, and guess what? It's not for you anymore. Star Wars isn't for us anymore. If you're over... I don't know. Star Wars is for what? Over 18? I don't think a 19-year-old gives a shit.
I think that Star Wars... We're not at that point yet. The issue with this
That's
should
beautiful.
have been with both. That was the whole point of it. You had an opportunity to make a movie where each of the main 3 characters you never get to see them all together. That's a huge letdown.
Mark Hamill said that Han Solo's death was wasted. And this is the great Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill. And someone who was interviewing him said, well, why was it wasted? He goes, he doesn't even die. Like, you could have had him die in front of me and Princess Leia and had it been the most traumatic, thing. Like, when we watch Luke get his hand cut off, and then we watch Luke fall down that thing, and we see Luke beaten, we all, there's no thought going through your head other than I love this person, and he's getting effed up, right? If when Han Solo died, he died in front of Princess Leia.
Where this is where Han Solo should have died. He should have died in Return of the Jedi. Luke should never have been Leia's brother.
Well, what's it? Yeah.
That is like if you're talking about story arcs, the story arc from being a selfish pirate to a selfless general to give up everything for that cause.
Yeah.
That's the story arc right there.
I agree with you, but I'm saying that when these people are writing these movies, sometimes it's like, yo, how does he get his name? You once told me something,
Wait,
Doug.
his mom gave
Yeah.
him his name.
I know,
That,
I know.
That's not one of those things like how does he
Like
get
his
the
father's
name?
name was Jeb Solo. You once
Yes.
told me something. Let me say this. Kids, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to get to the last scene, which is the standoff between the great Luke Skywalker and the evil, emo Kylo Ren. We'll be right back. All right, so we skipped ahead to a scene where Luke comes back. And for a lot of people, if you were just seeing this movie, Doug, you didn't really know what was going on there. Did you know what was going on? So we got Princess Leia sitting there. She's sad. Hope is lost. Luke's not coming back. And then we do see the silhouette. She looks up. She feels it. Right?
You knew Luke was gonna come back. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't see like how he came back. I thought he was actually going to show up.
All right, so when you saw this, when Luke, guys, if you're watching, when Luke walks onto the place, Leia sees him. She knows it's Luke. You don't see his face. Then we see his face.
So I thought something was up right here.
Okay, you're right.
Because once his hair's cut and he looks younger.
I think they dropped the ball so hard with this because it's one thing when you have a movie. Like someone said, if you watch The Sixth Sense, obviously, spoiler alert, Bruce Willis is dead. But if you notice, Bruce Willis never interacts with anything. And I was like, oh shit, you're right. When they show him going someplace, he's on the bus. When you see a protagonist in a movie on the bus,
Yeah.
but they can't have him drive because he's dead. With this, the main tell was his hair's shorter, he looks a little younger, his beard's shorter,
Yeah.
his beard's less gray. So guys, you all know this by now because this movie came out a while ago. You see Luke at the end of the movie, and he went to Supercuts, he got a dye job, and all that stuff. And I felt like, obviously we know something's up. I just thought if they're going to tip their hand, they could have done it differently. I don't know. You know what I
Well,
mean?
there's that, and he has his dad's lightsaber. He should have had the green one.
It made zero sense that he had his blue lightsaber, especially when we see it destroyed. So I don't even think Rian Johnson's trying to trick us. You know, it's not like
No, he's not. He's
Okay,
not.
okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's like, you guys know, you'll piece it together.
They do
You're
say
smart.
something here that I do find very odd, though. They say that Luke still doesn't think he can save Kylo. And he thought he could save Darth Vader. Like, Kylo is not that far gone.
And he's young. He's not set in his ways.
It doesn't ring true. That's the problem.
Okay, so they're all looking because they see Master Luke walks out. Almost, maybe this Arch of Fire has some meaning.
Oh, I mean, it looks like a vagina, so yeah.
Okay, yeah, the Arch of Fire clearly is a fiery vagina that he walks through. Now you have Kylo Ren with these new AT-ATs. I had an AT-AT when I was a kid. Can I tell you something funny? All right, so Luke's walking out. I had an AT-AT when I was a kid, and I tore a little piece. It was the only time I ever did it, as many Christmases as I had, and they were good Christmases. I tore the wrapping paper back to see what was under the box, and I could not tell because the box for the AT-AT in 1985 was black and white. It didn't have color. So we have these new AT-ATs that remind me of gorillas walking on their knuckles. Luke's standing in front of them like, bring it on, and they look like Cylons. Kylo Ren gives the order, open fire on Luke Skywalker. You kids know what I'm talking about. The fucking end-all, be-all scene in this movie. The best. Kylo Ren is almost having a fucking orgasm.
Yeah.
He looks like he's almost like he gets off sexually from killing Luke, so that tells us
Now,
something.
what I would have loved is, like, in that first movie, how Kylo Ren stopped that one laser bolt. So they
If
keep
Luke
shooting,
would've-
keep shooting, and then when they stop and the smoke clears, Luke's just got his hand out and has every single one of those laser bolts.
Oh,
just
it's
hanging
like
out.
a red wall. like it's a
that-
wall of red.
yeah.
Like you can't even see
then
Luke.
he just shoots him up or shoots him back at him. That's what I would have done.
Yeah.
It would have been badass.
Man, that's badass. Kylo Ren is so funny. Like I said, I haven't seen Adam Driver in anything. I know he's in Black Klansman. There's something like sexual. Like I'm not saying you know what I mean. I'm saying that there's something. Guys, you can't see it. Doug just gave me a nod like you gave for Kylo Ren. There's something like gets off sexually from like doing violent things or something, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, that's the part of the dark side.
Yeah, like, oh, you're right. It's like he gets this like ecstasy from from going into the dark side, like it's like endorphins or some shit, right?
There's a reason why everybody goes to it.
Like it's like heroin.
Yeah.
Okay, well there you go. All right, so Hux tells Kylo Ren to stop. He flies him away. Now we're just essentially killing time, kids. We're about to wrap up this podcast. We want the scene where Kylo, here he is in his ship, very reminiscent of Vader, landing in his ship. Luke's waiting for him, wearing black hoodie from J.C. Penney, and at this point, no one knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's funny. The rebels are so stupid. It takes them like 5 or 6 minutes to realize they should be running. Again, no one has a plan. If this was me and I saw Luke, I would go, he's clearly stalling.
Yeah.
Doug, let's get out of here.
No, I want to see the lightsaber battle. That's what I want to say.
If someone was chasing me and my buddy jumped up and said, "You guys want to see a card trick?" I'd be like, "Oh, he's killing time." All right, Kylo with this cross-guard lightsaber, which I love. And
I do like the way that he lights his lightsaber too.
Fucking, he's angry. Like he throws out his lightsaber. He thinks this is it.
Yeah.
He does, right?
Yeah.
He thinks I'm gonna kill my uncle. He hates his fucking uncle. Doug, you're someone's uncle, right?
Yeah.
I hope this never happens to you.
Probably will.
Ladies and gentlemen, Doug D. It probably will, yeah. I have a niece, and all she'll probably be able to do is float through space. Women with the Force, they just float through space. So, we're watching these in beautiful 4K, which I've toned down the settings because it's too bright. So they're just talking. What should they be doing right now, Doug?
They should be running.
God, you know what, guy? Oh, and Ice Fox. Guys, look, this is the first movie commentary with Doug D. Hopefully, Doug, it won't be the last. We can do this again.
Probably will be.
Because, guys, 2026, mark your calendar. We're going to do Logan. By that point, Hugh Jackman will actually be dead. All right, so Falcon's coming in. I guess they're going back to Crate. R2. I didn't know there was this much space between when they fight, right?
Yeah, neither did I.
Because at this point, they're just standing there looking at each other.
Yes. I guess they're talking about stuff.
What's up, bro? What'd you do last night? I like your crossguard lightsaber. I never told you. I always wanted to tell you. Fucking... I think your crossguard lightsaber's kind of dope. Kylo Ren's like, bro, did you cut your hair? And he's like, I totally fucking just mend my beard. All right, so finally these rebels kids decide to get out. But we've got a problem. We've got this Ice Fox.
Yeah.
And again, I hate when they say Fox. It's kind of like in the prequels when they go, vulture droids. Well, that means in Star Wars you have vultures? Like, that's kind of us?
Yeah.
Say something like Tyverian droids. And I'm like, what the fuck is a Tyverian droid, But it is what it is. Again, Star Trek has an identity crisis. This is where the 4K kind of...
Well, Star Wars does too.
What did I say?
Star Trek.
You know what? Fuck Star Trek. They've got an identity crisis for a while. Okay, he points his crossguard at Luke.
Yeah.
Luke, very stoic. He's not scared at all. Kylo is... Okay, this is the tell, obviously.
Yeah.
Kylo's foot, we see the red. He charges. Boom! Ducks. Swings again. Cuts. Luke spins around in position like a samurai. Keeps his sword at a perfect samurai form. Kylo's not focused, Doug.
No.
He's anger. He's all anger, right?
Yeah, that's what he should be.
Okay, I agree. He's all anger.
But
Luke is very Qui-Gon Jinn right now.
Yeah, but that's what he's supposed to be.
He matrix his way out of it, spins around, which is very unrealistic. Gravity doesn't work that way.
Well, he has the Force.
He has the Force.
And he used that same exact move on when he was fighting Rey.
Now, there's something very interesting here that I love, because Kylo Ren, again, we can't talk good enough about Adam Driver's Kylo Ren. Yeah. He says something like, I'll kill you, I'll kill the girl, and then I would have killed the last Jedi.
Yeah. Oh, and I would have killed the last Jedi.
And I would have killed the last Jedi. And Mark Hamill, do you remember what Mark Hamill says after that?
Yeah, like, then you'd be wrong about that too or something. I don't know. I forget exactly what it was. It was the same line he gave to Rey earlier.
Okay, Doug, you didn't prep for this.
I did. I only watched this movie once, like 2 years ago.
Kids, we talked about doing this a while ago, and I thought we were going to do Logan, because I love Logan, but we did this. Doug said we'll do this. So I've watched it a few times.
I liked Logan too, but that would be really boring. Like, oh,
you know what's so good about this?
This is like a cool scene right here.
Bro, you know what I love about this scene?
I love like when he popped his claws here. It was like the best part ever.
Dude, you know how he has 3 claws? She only has 2, bro. Okay, so this scene where they're staring off at each other, I thought it was really cool. Mark Hamill says, you're absolutely wrong. No, he says, everything you just said is wrong.
Oh, yeah, that's me.
And I thought that was just so much of a master talking to a young, bratty apprentice.
Yeah.
Like, everything you just said is wrong. So we're going back to it. Here we go. The final charge. They're ready. Mark Hamill, Kylo Ren. He's like foaming at the mouth here. Of course, Mark Hamill says, everything you just said is wrong. And now, and I think he's just saying some wise Jedi stuff, Daisy Ridley's in the scene now. She's on crate and she feels it. She knows what's going on. And what does she do, Doug?
She raises a bunch of rocks. Unlike what Luke said, I guess the Force is about raising rocks.
Kids, at the end of the day, look, who hasn't wanted to be a Jedi? Just know this. Being a Jedi is basically about raising a bunch of rocks.
Lifting things.
Lifting, like what it just, if you're in your house and you've got just lift the furniture, that's the...
Like, I don't want to get up to get that remote.
It's the pat. Oh, dude, who hasn't tried to bring the remote to them? Now, this scene, way longer than I thought, of them just talking to each other.
Yeah. Now he's like,
I'm into the
threatening
scene.
to haunt him.
I'm into the scene. He says he's going to haunt him. I'll be with you forever, he says. And a little smile. I think that's because he can barely hang on anymore in the real world when he's meditating on a rock. Kylo charges at him.
I think he knows what he's going to do.
He swings. Mark Hamill doesn't move because he's done. He knows that Rey is here. He knows that they're out. He can probably feel how far away they are. He knows that they're safe. And now it's just about teaching his kid a little bit of a lesson here. Kylo realizes the fucking jig is up. He looks at him. Luke's like, whatever. Walks right up to him with this lightsaber out, crossguard style. Puts it through his chest. Even though I knew what was happening, when I saw this, I was still like, oh, man. You got fucking, what's that show? Punked. We cut back to the island where Mark Hamill is levitating above the rocks with his long hair and his long beard. He says the classic, now iconic line, see you around, kid. He tells Kylo Ren, you dumb bastard, I'll see you around. Classic master, not outbrawning the younger, stronger kid.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure why he dies now.
Okay, so we're seeing the rock. He dies. Now we get the sun of, with the silhouette of the island. Mark Hamill reaches up. He's tapped. He's used all his Jedi power. He knows he's going to die. And what does he see?
Sunrise.
Sunrise. Yeah, I guess you're right.
It's like...
The sun's coming up.
That's him going full circle. That's him staring at the sun in Star Wars. Or whatever it is. Sunrise or sunset. Whatever it was in
the two twin binary, or whatever they call them. All right, kids, we're about to wrap it up. He takes a deep breath. He almost looks like he could live if he wanted to live.
Yeah.
He just enjoys. He sees two suns, just like back when he was a young kid, hunting swamp rats in his T-16 on his home planet of, I'm killing times, I can't remember, Tatooine. Thank you. And we get the full disappear of the body. The robes drop just like one Obi-Wan Kenobi.
But no metal hand.
All right, kids, you've seen this movie. That's going to wrap it up for us. It's almost at the end, but it doesn't even matter at this point. My name's Rave. This was episode 32, Star Wars The Last Jedi movie commentary with the great Doug D. Doug, thank you for coming on the show, man.
No problem. It's your boy.
Well, there you have it, guys. Some red-hot Star Wars The Last Jedi talk and a very special two-part RaveX podcast DVD commentary, man. Why The Last Jedi is just another bad movie without a plan. Let me know if you guys like this, man, the DVD commentary, because there's more to come. Anyway, for Diamond Doug DeRocher, my name's RaveX, and I'm out of here.